Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Abik Saida, or Abby for short, for those who don't know me. Today I'm going to be talking about how I found out I was pregnant, the gender, and how my journey has been so far. How I found out I was pregnant, I went in because I had missed my periods for 3 months and I was on birth control. I was on the ring and I was like, oh my god, like this is like, is this normal? Like, I know birth control can do so much to you, but I was already having irregulars. Like, I had irregular periods, so I was like, okay, if I miss 2 months, I'm fine. But I've never missed up to 3 months. So I was just like, oh, what's going on? Like, why haven't I got my period, you know? So I went in, they're like, oh, we're just going to do like a pregnancy test, even though you're on birth control. And I'm like, okay. They're like, just leave a urine sample and we'll get back to you. So what I thought they meant was like, they'll call me with the results or something. And then I left, like I took the urine test and just left the hospital. I was driving and I was on the phone with my mom. I was like, oh my god, they didn't really give me like much information. They just made me take a pregnancy test, which is weird because I'm on birth control. But I was like, it's fine. And then I was like, hold on, I'll call you right back. The hospital's calling me. The hospital calls me and the nurse is like, hey Abby, we need you to come back to the hospital immediately. And I'm like, oh my god, is everything okay? And they're like, yeah, your pregnancy results came in and they're positive, so you're pregnant. And I was just like in shock, like, I'm like, how did I get pregnant on birth control? You know, like that was kind of like my reaction. I was still in shock, so I called my mom back and I'm like, tell me why they're telling me I'm pregnant. And my mom was like, oh my god, like my mom was excited, but I was still in shock, like, you know. So I kind of kept this pregnancy to myself because, keep in mind, I was having miscarriages back to back before I hopped on birth control. So I was just like, I was scared. And then they just gave me like a due date, this and that, my first appointment. When I went to my first appointment, they said the baby wasn't growing. So I was even more sad. So I just didn't want to like give my hopes up. So I didn't really get too excited with the pregnancy at first. Then they did another ultrasound like 2 weeks later. The baby was growing, like she was growing, and I just gave out the gender, so whatever. But yeah, the baby was growing, and I was just like, okay, that's good, she's growing. And then I was like, okay, that's fine. And then I went to another appointment, and they were like, oh, you know, your sugars are a little bit high, you could be getting gestational diabetes. And then I found out I got gestational diabetes with this pregnancy. So I was like, okay, that's great. Like, one more thing to worry about, I guess. So now I had to learn how to control what I eat and like manage my meals and everything. I was like, okay, we can do this. And then I started losing weight. And I haven't gained 1 pound in this pregnancy. So far, I've lost 35 pounds. 36 pounds, but that's okay. I was like, they told me as long as the baby's growing, we should be fine. So went to another ultrasound, the baby wasn't growing again, and I was just so scared. Like, that was in the second trimester already. I was like so scared. I was just like, this is why you don't want to say anything, because like, what if something happens? I'm just giving my hopes up. Keep in mind, I didn't buy anything for the baby yet because I was so scared. But I did have a friend, like, she did buy my baby some stuff. And I was just, like, I was so happy. But, like, I guess you can say I'm still scared to this day. But, like, I know she's going to be fine. So then they were like, do you want to know the gender? And I'm like, yeah. When I went to my ultrasound, I'm like, yeah. And they're like, it's a girl. I was like, I knew it. Like, I don't know. It's weird, guys. But, like, I knew my daughter's gender. Like, I just had a feeling, you know, those mom instincts, like you just know. That's how I felt with this one. Like, I was like, it's a girl. And everybody's like, I hope you have your boy. I'm like, I'm not gonna have my boy, I'm gonna have a girl. I was like, which is even better because my daughter gets a best friend, she gets a sister, she gets someone to be around with, you know. She needs a girlfriend, you know, she needs a best friend. And I was like, I'm so happy it's a girl. I was like, because I already know what to do with a girl. I feel like with a boy, it's just a whole new journey because I have no experience with a boy. But yeah, and then, but I was so excited. And then I told My baby daddy, I was like, we're having another girl, and then he was like, oh, I really wanted a boy. And then we just started laughing, and then we were like just so excited though that she's healthy. And then she started growing. Now she's growing 2 weeks ahead of her due date. She's getting big, which is amazing. Now I was like, okay, she's growing. You know, she's getting big. She weighs 3 pounds 5 ounces so far. I'm like really happy, and I don't know, like I just know everything's going to be okay. So far this journey has been very hectic. I've been getting sick. I've not just pregnancy sick, just sick in general. But all I can say is like this journey has been very hectic, very different from my first pregnancy. But her head is laying on my diaphragm. She does not have her head down. Her feet are down and her head's up. It's fine though, because I am getting a C-section like I said before, or if I didn't, I'm getting a C-section. So I'm originally due August 16th, but I will be having my baby on August 9th. So they're not really worried about that, but it does make it a little bit harder for me to breathe. So it kind of sucks, and my feet get swollen. Yeah.